Hey everybody, and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about this anomaly I found on Mars using Google Mars. You're going to open up Google Earth. I'm just going to show you how to get to this really quick. And you're going to go to View, and you're going to go to Explore, and then Mars. I've already got this pinned, so I'll just go ahead and zoom over to it really quick. It's giving coordinates, but I'll go ahead and open this up to properties so you can get the exact coordinates here. Go ahead and enter that information into the search bar, and it should take you right to this spot. Make sure you're in Mars first before you do this. It'll take you right to this spot, and you're going to see this camera icon. Double click on that. This is going to zoom us into the presidential panorama, where I'll show you this anomaly that I found. If you go to the small rover here and just zoom in just a touch, I'll zoom out just one more actually, you can start to see the anomaly. Now, I'm not talking about this in the background or any of the other kind of anomalous structures in this photo. I mainly want to focus in on what this thing here is, which looks to me to be a UFO coming into the screen. If we zoom in one more, we can see that in this previous picture taken, it's coming in at the very top right here, and it's slowly coming in each picture a little bit lower. It's a nice smooth transition from the very top to where it finally starts to level out a little bit. And it stays pretty level for, I don't know, that was about 4 or 5 pictures before it starts to move upward again. And you can follow this all the way around. There it is again. And what seems to be 2 craft actually. This is the same photo here. Pretty sure anyway. If this isn't the same photo, then this is the same craft in every photo. But there are a couple of photos here that do appear to show 2, like this one right here. And there's that craft. And these craft do look a little bit different. Like if you look at both of these here, not only is this one kind of faded out a little bit, but it looks more round than this one here does. And as you can see, this one's in every frame. And you can even see what appears to be a craft above it in some of these frames. It's kind of hard to make out, as well as this one, but you can definitely see something there taking on about the same shape as that one. And then you've got it in this picture, and it slowly moves its way up, and then eventually it's out of the frames again. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that UFO for the most part. And then one thing I did is I took a screenshot of this and dropped it into Photoshop and started playing with some of the filters in Photoshop. Ended up finding a couple of things. So I'll go ahead and show you that here now. Now, this is just one of the random screenshots I took. Nothing in particular. I wasn't looking at anything else. I just wanted to mainly focus in on this UFO and see if the filters would pick up on it. And they definitely did. I'll just go ahead and open up the filter gallery here. This is just where it starts out when I open it up. But if we go down to the filters, ink outlines, and Sumi, we're going to see some interesting stuff. Well, for one, the ink outline, it shows you the UFO very clearly. It's basically saying, yes, there's something there. It's outlining it and making it darker. So the filter is definitely picking up on this UFO, so there's definitely something in the sky. And just by looking at it, pretty much a UFO. Interesting thing is that it's in every picture, so it must have been following this panorama around as the pictures were being taken, which is also very interesting. What I found as well when just looking at this picture with this filter is this what looks to be square shape or rectangle rectangle shape like a skyscraper right here. And then we also have what seems to be this rectangular object going across the sky as though it's hovering, possibly. Or maybe there's just more light on it right here than underneath it. It's hard to say. This could be some sort of overhang of some kind. But like the top of a building, or maybe it was just something hovering in the sky that they're covering up. Regardless, we have these two rectangle shapes here. I've been through all these filters, and these two seem to be the best as far as like pulling these two shapes out. These are two things you would not see just looking at the normal picture, so I find this very interesting. We all know that there's a cover-up. We all know that they're editing photos left and right. Why they missed this UFO and tried to edit some of these other anomalous UFOs and structures out of the picture instead is beyond me, because this UFO stands out like a sore thumb. It's there, it's obvious. They should have seen it, and if they were editing these photos, they should have edited that out, in my opinion. Not saying that they're not editing these, or that's proof that they're not editing these, because that is not anything close to what I'm saying. Like, they are definitely editing these out. The question is, why did they allow us to see this one? Okay, who knows? You know, I'm sure they'll try to explain it out, explain it away one way or another. You can see definitely there's something going on. There's definitely editing going on to try to hide stuff, and yet here we have a clear UFO shot. So who knows what's going on? But if we open this up in another filter called Sumi, you can see what looks to be that structure. It's very clear in this one, and so is this rectangle. You as well have some sort of an anomalous thing here. Might be another tall skyscraper of some kind, which is more hidden than these others. But one thing I wanted to point out is what looks to be another craft above this one. See, these are two separate photos here, and you can see it in this photo as well. You can see those clearly. Mainly is the editing that's going on in this photo. This filter's pulling out a lot of that. You can see where the two images come together. It's got overlapping what look to be brush strokes, probably using the smudge or some form of like blur tool to try to make that edge a little less apparent, which, you know, I've done a lot for different types of web projects and stuff like that. That's a common technique when you're connecting two images. You don't want that connecting spot visible, and so what you do is you blur it out, basically try to blend the two edges together, and you do that with multiple brush strokes. And as you see that I'm doing here, I'd probably be using the smudge tool, the blur tool, possibly the clone tool as well. But basically whatever I could do to eliminate this border, I would try to do, and that would become very apparent in things like filters. Whereas in the original image, you would never even notice it. But I mean, this looks like somebody did a horrible job at that. Looks like they dropped in some rectangular shapes over stuff they wanted to hide, and then did a horrible job trying to cover up those shapes or make them blend in. I mean, we've got basically the same issue with these shapes being dropped in as we do with the border edge, because the pixel colors and everything are so much different. It's just obvious what's going on. And when you make a shape, if you want to change the color of that shape, you can use an eyedropper and very easily just pick a surrounding color to make it the same basic background color as everything else. And then, like I said, using fading and that sort of thing, and blur and smudge, you can kind of blend the original image in with whatever shape it is you're using that's the same color. But shapes ultimately just have one color, so they stand out pretty good. In this case, you can see it, obviously. They're covering some stuff up, but yeah, it just looks like a poor attempt to cover up some editing. And there's possibly something right here too, and I think there might be something right here too. They did a little bit better with the smudge job here. You can kind of see what they're doing here. but at the top you can kind of see the top of what looks like to be a building or something. So this could be another skyscraper. We could be looking at a small city or a destroyed city. It's hard to say. But there's definitely some UFOs interested in the rover. Yeah, it could be a city. It could be where, on somebody's territory right now. They're checking us out, making sure this rover doesn't do anything else or bother them probably. And when they figure out that it's just the rover, they took off. And that's what we're seeing. It came into the frame, took a look, and took off. It was like literally the first thing I looked at, zoomed in on, and all this crazy stuff already I'm finding in just this one panorama and this one screenshot. I can just imagine what's in the rest of it. When I have more time, I might come back to this panorama and take a closer look at everything. For now, I just wanted you to see this UFO and these other two anomalies that I found and just kind of get your opinion and see what you guys think. Feel free to comment or email me if you have any questions or, any finds of your own. That'd be great. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to click the bell up there in the corner so that you can get notifications on new videos that are going to be coming out. Thank you for watching this video, and you guys have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.